if you ever had ambition to kill in the name of money, this is the game for you. Because you can be a part of the CD underworld and you can earn all the big bucks, but you'll have to get the Cybertronics and everything, all the latest gear, and just install it on your own body. And you can be a fully, somewhat breathing cyborg. Because that's what this game is totally about. And by the way, Happy New Year. Thought I would start off on a good foot talking about the future and upgrades and everything. Something like that. So this is Necomunda hired gun. It's in the Warhammer 40,000 series and it's the first person shooter. And the game looked really great, like a dark unofficial Quake game. Yeah, it feels like Doom with added RPG elements. The soundtrack's really good. It's like a mix of rock meets industrial from what I remember. Voice acting is kind of bland and quiet though. It's really weird. It's like you've got great music, you got great graphics, but like the voice acting is like, wow. I guess that's where the last bit of the budget went. I don't know, but the level geometry is amazing. Like this has some of the best level design I can think of since maybe, I know, even Quake 1. It's just impressive as heck. And sometimes you would even get lost in it. Like that's how complicated it seems to be. I'm like, where should I go? I thought that a lot. Like, oh, there's a ramp down here, there's stairs here. Like, man, I could get lost in here all day. I love the slides and sideways dashes that this game has you do. I haven't really found a way to incorporate because I feel like the levels, they're so enclosed that like it doesn't make sense to dash off to the side. And like, yeah, you could dash forwards, but like the enemies' movements seem very jittery, so it's hard to like fight the enemies with these tactics. And you have a dog. It's really neat. I've never seen this before. And you can actually see the enemies by sticking your dog out, I guess, to sniff them. And like that really helps when you have like 20 enemies on a level or like 10 in the area, and it's like, okay, they're all like somehow knowing where you are and like able to shoot at you. It's kind of crazy odds, but yeah, so you can see these like hidden enemies with the dog, and I found I used it a lot when I had no idea where to go, and like suddenly I heard enemies shooting at me. I'm like, okay, these enemies can see me, but I can't see them. How is that happening? And then you see that they're like way up on a building top shooting down like, I don't know, 1,000 meters away. It feels like maybe more. So anyways, even though I really, really like the graphics, I love the setting, it's definitely not a game for kids. that should be said. There are a lot of cons that sort of bring this game down a bit. And like I felt like I was shooting a lot, but my bullets weren't really hitting the enemies. Like I swear I unloaded a whole clip into an enemy, one of these like cyberpunk mercenaries, and it like the enemies are like bullet sponges, and it's like, wow, I just like shot 300 bullets in that guy and he's still alive. Also, like the gears and stuff that you get at the end of each mission, it's kind of like playing Doom meets like Diablo, and it's like, okay, this gives you +3 health, this gives you this. It's like you get like, I feel like you get 20 of them, and it's like I only have 6 slots. How is this all gonna be put in? And like there's so much gear that you get that like you're just overwhelmed with it, and it's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna sell all this crap because like to go through like all these different items, like I don't have all day for this. This is one mission. How much gear do you get after like 13 missions in this game? And like also the enemies, like their animations are just really jank. They're not super smooth, so like when they're coming towards you, you expect them to like flow and like smoothly come towards you, but they don't. No, it's like very jarring, and it's like hard to aim at a target that doesn't have smooth animations. Plus they run away after. It's sort of hard to explain without you seeing it, but so a lot of people I saw like were complaining about not having enough ammo, which is weird because like I had the opposite problem. I had a lot of ammo when I was playing on normal. My problem was I kept running out of medikits, and like I think they're called stims in this game, and there are a few places I think you can buy them, but like just going back and finding them to buy these extra medikits is tough. And like there were some parts in the game where feel like the game wasn't balanced. Like you'd have, as I said, like 10 or 20 enemies shooting at you in this large area, and it's like, how am I supposed to run through this? This isn't like, you know, GoldenEye 007 Agent 00 difficulty. Like, it shouldn't be like that where you have like 50 guys and it's like, what are you supposed to do in that situation? Like, are you supposed to like throw your dog out and like your dog attack them, like stick your dog on it? Or like, I wasn't sure, so I just had to like Rambo run in, take a lot of damage, and just hope for the best that I wouldn't die. So it was a really weird, it feels like the game's not balanced in certain areas when you can like, you have that many enemies after you, and it's like, what do you do in that situation? So yeah, it feels like also the voice acting is fairly low par, low quality. I've played other Warhammer games and some are better than this, but the last one I played, the airplane flight game that came out a few months ago, this was the exact same issue. So I don't know if it's a common issue with, you know, just they don't want to dedicate enough money to voice acting. I don't know, but it just seems like very quiet, and like it doesn't seem like very convincing, the voice acting in this game. But yeah, I would always be running out of medikits, and everyone else who played this game that I saw were running out of ammo. So I don't know if we're playing a different game or what's going on exactly, but the other con is the game's really short. There's only 13 missions. I beat one mission, and it took me, I think, 40 minutes. But yeah, like every bullet fight seems to jostle your screen, so it's hard to like keep track of like the firefights that are going on, and like your concentration ability to react to having like this much plasma and bullets and stuff going on your screen, and like it shakes your screen as well. So that's what makes it also very challenging. So the game is quite expensive at $54.99 regular price. As I said, the graphics look amazing, fairly well polished in that sense, but like other parts aren't so polished. It feels like a $30 game or less, kind of like going back to the helicopter chopper game I played, which felt like even less, like a $5-10 game. It just feels like the quality control is not 100% there right now, unfortunately, with the Warhammer games I've played. Some are really good, some are not. I guess whenever, from what I've seen, Sega's involved, Sega, I guess, somehow has like some magic and manages to make a good Warhammer game, or has an influence on it. So yeah, it feels like a $30 game or less, and that's roughly what I paid, so I don't feel so bad about it. There's no multiplayer. The DLC seems to be purely cosmetic. It doesn't affect your actual weapons, which is kind of a shame, but I guess if you really love this game and you want to keep grinding on the side quests as well, then go for it. Yeah, even though it seems very buggy and pointless side quests, I just feel like, you know, it's a very fun game. Just for $50, it's not quite worth that much. And it looks quite good. It almost feels like a Doom side story for the average layman. I'd say if you can get it for like 30 or less, it's definitely worth it. It's a solid 7.5. There's a lot of replayability. It's fun, and ultimately that's important. Even though like the game itself has a lot of issues right now, hopefully the bugs can get worked out, and maybe there's extra gameplay being added by the developer, but so far I haven't seen anything. So anyways, update your gear and keep on gearing.